What is punishment, and should we punish? Obviously, punishment is from a specific fabric or a moral code from a specific person or a group of people that demands the action be corrected. So punishment could be considered a false sense of resolution. Basically, for this resolution to be required, a wrongdoing must be done, and instead of the intent of focusing on the needs not being met, people tend to punish other people based on their belief system not being correct with theirs. Now, obviously, this topic is considered to different morals or different ethics. However, I would like to help expand different people's perspectives on the ability, should we punish our children or should we punish people in general, and why we punish. Punishment is basically to make ourselves feel better, because basically when somebody is punished rather than disciplined, which is kind of a form of punishment, rather than meeting the needs of a specific person, this person is acting upon a specific action that was not relative or correct to theirs, such as somebody stealing something. Now, obviously, the needs of someone to steal something is probably accurate, and they probably needed the money or the bread to possibly feed their family. Now, however, let's take this into consideration. If you would like to punish someone who doesn't have enough money to feed their family, and if they don't steal anything, and they go and steal a piece of bread, or they steal an item from a store in order to feed their family or for the well-being of the family, is that something that is punishable? I think this type of thinking should be thought a little bit more through, because I believe I have never actually seen someone punished or had an experience of rehabilitation or healing from punishment. Wrongdoings are created from two things: isolation, and they are created from desperation. Isolation and desperation are basically a starvation of one or more things within a person's life, such as a fundamental need, such as food, water, emotional connection, experience from doing things a specific way. So when it comes down to morale, I think people have a different viewpoint on it. Some people stay to the books, such as stealing is wrong no matter what, or stealing is wrong depending on different circumstances. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because in order for us to have a well-rounded and better community, I feel like it would be much more beneficial to pave the way to a more pleasurable and happier experience for everyone. That would include less punishment and meeting the needs of everyone. However, I understand that this obviously is a very difficult concept to deal with somebody that has had a very much wrongdoing to themselves or a family member, and it's sometimes that type of thing can be never replaced or never recovered from. However, a wrongdoing is always based upon the going towards a more happiness and less of pain. So the deciphering between what is painful and what is happy to someone is completely different to everyone. Some people think that happiness is actually very triggering, so therefore feeling sad and a sense of depression is more of a comforting, rather than someone that is a more healthier person and more well-rounded person believes that happiness is a pleasurable sense rather than sadness and depression. So obviously this is kind of a utilitarian concept, and basically it's the concept or the belief system of a utilitarian is more of a happiness for everyone, and the more happy feelings and more happy events that happen to a specific individual or a well-rounded society will benefit the whole instead of eye for an eye. This will also entail helping the rehabilitation practices, such as healing practices, as well as for people that don't know how to get their needs met, which is basically why all crimes are committed, is they don't know how to get their needs met. So obviously the greatest happiness for everyone is the greatest happiness for all people, because human beings are a social group. So typically, for example, if you're in a crowd of people that is really happy, obviously the vibrations and the responses of other people is very contagious. So it's safe to say that possibly the way people are feeling and the experience of people that are around you, or the common denominator of people, is if they are happy, then less likely things are bad to happen. So this is kind of a different perspective, I guess, for people that feel a little bit excluded. I also wanted to give, I guess, a couple of examples. I typically don't believe in punishment, obviously, because I don't believe that it is beneficial, because when you punish someone, it's basically, you're not really connecting with them. Like, if a child is spanked by a parent, or a dog is spanked or beaten or abused by an owner or something like that, the owner or the parent is not connecting with the child, nor is it connecting with the animal, because they are in a sense of anger or entitlement, or they feel they're up here and the child or the dog or whatever is down here. So when that happens, they're not actually understanding the needs of the parent. So obviously, let's say, for example, a child back talks to a parent. Now obviously the parent might get very upset because they feel like it's very disrespectful, and in order to for a parent to feel that way with their child, they have to think they're up here and the child is down here. However, the child's perspective and the parent's perspective is not one's better than the other, it's a different perspective. So one's not right and one's not wrong. However, if a parent were to spank a child, it might make them feel not heard, and they should, the child might think that their opinion or their voice isn't heard. So therefore, instead of learning from the experience of respect and the difference between different perspectives, which a child can't really understand, they're going to think, I'm bad and I'm going to isolate and hide, and therefore I feel I'm not going to get my needs met, so I'm going to get a need somewhere else. Basically, the difference between punishment and understanding and meeting the needs of someone, which really has to do with connection and understanding, is a little bit more beneficial than punishing someone and getting angry and telling them basically to follow a format that they have no idea that they were supposed to follow to begin with. So I just wanted to give my opinion and try to broaden people's perspective when it comes to punishment, and I would like to hear your opinions, if you have any, about if we should punish, and your opinion on punishment. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Bye.